All right, so my sales from the past 2 weeks have been pretty crappy, and while I do place a lot of the fault on some of these reselling platforms, I'll be honest with you, the common thread amongst all of them is me.
Won't nobody love you the way they should. Won't nobody check up on you, make sure you're good. Won't nobody check those body tremors for your neck.
Hi everyone, my name is Becky Park. I'm a part-time reseller on a bunch of different platforms that we're going to be talking about today, because in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you everything that sold for me on the various platforms that I sell on in the last 2 weeks of March. So while these are not the most exciting numbers that I'm going to be sharing with you, there were some decent sales. It's a combination of things, like I said earlier. It's a combination of Poshmark changing their algorithm. It's a combination of what's happening in the world and people maybe just not spending money as frivolously as they may have in the past. It's a lot of things, but also it's me just not being motivated to do reselling things, like just not being motivated to list, not being motivated to, end and sell similar listings on eBay, just not motivated to do the kinds of things that I know I should be doing in order to make sales. I even made a video about how to kind of spark sales on your various reselling platforms, and I'll link that right here and down in the description. I made a video on this very topic, but I just have not been motivated, and that stems from a few things. One is it's hard to be motivated when you're not making sales, and two, I just have decided I really want to be a homesteader. Like, I want chickens, I want a huge garden, I want these different things. I'm not gonna get the majority of those things, but one thing I have been spending a lot of time on is gardening and just getting my seeds started for the spring, and so that's been taking up a lot more of my time than probably necessary. And also, things are really busy at work. We are kind of in the final home stretch of our musical. We're doing the musical Anastasia, and so that's been taking up a lot of my time as well. That being said, I did still sell a few things, and we're going to talk about those things in today's video. So we're going to start by talking about Monday, which was March 21st, and I just want to say that I had a 4-day drought on Poshmark. So starting the 20th, which was Sunday the 20th through the 23rd, which was Wednesday, I didn't make a single Poshmark sale. It was excruciating. And I've seen from a lot of people on Poshmark that they were experiencing the same thing. Some people were like,
my Poshmark sales have never been better.
Well, good for you. I'm so happy for you. I mean that really in the most sincerest way possible. I am very happy if you're doing well. I am not. I did not do well this week. In total, I sold 8 things on Poshmark in this entire week. Usually I sell 20-something things a week on Poshmark, and this week I sold 8. So Monday the 21st, nothing on Poshmark. But on eBay, I did have a couple sales, and a couple very surprising sales. So the first thing to sell on eBay was this Medela pump. It was the InStyle Advanced Double Breast Pump in the Metro bag. It's like a black bag. I know when my kids were babies, I breastfed, and I had 2 pumps. I had one that I kept at home and one that I kept at work, and one of them had a nice little bag like this. It was just really nice, and I'm sure most people who are moms knew what it was, but it's a nice discreet way to carry around your pumping supplies. This I actually got from a friend of mine who was a reseller, but she moved to a different state and sold me all of her stuff so that she could just kind of start clean and fresh in her new state. So I only had $1.50 into this, and it sold for $39.99 on eBay. I am trying to remember how much I had the buyer pay for shipping. I want to say it was somewhere around $15, $18, but it sold to someone in Puerto Rico, which is very far away. So shipping was not the $15, $18, maybe even $20 that I was anticipating. It was $33.56. That's a lot more than I accounted for. That is more than double what I thought it was going to be. So that definitely ate way into my profits, and it was promoted at 3%. So I ended up walking away with a profit of $13.67 on this item. But you know what? I'm happy that it sold. I'm happy that it went to someone who needs it. Now, a couple things I will say about this. I had this in my death pile forever. forever, for months and months and months. I finally got around to listing it, and probably within a week it sold. So list your death pile. I do have a video where I try to motivate you to list your death pile, and I will put that video right here full of tips and tricks on how to, tackle your death pile. But secondly, you are technically not allowed to sell used breast pumps on eBay. If you mark used, they'll say, hey, you can only sell this if this is new. So I clicked the box that said new, but I put in the description, this is not new, this is used. You want to report me to eBay? Fine, I don't care. But I just wanted to let you know in case you try to list your old breast pumps from home, which I think you absolutely should instead of them just sitting at home collecting dust. But I wanted to let you know if you try to list it and you list it as used, it's not going to let you list that item. So you do have to click the box that says new, but then just make sure that you are very clear in your description and maybe even in your title that this is indeed a used piece. The next thing that sold, I was shocked by, okay? It was this new with tags Dahlia Floral Chartreuse 2-piece lined skirt jacket suit set in a size 14. Let's see, I think the jacket was in a 14, but the skirt was in a size 12 or vice versa. This was promoted at 3%. It sold for $49.99. That was my full asking price. And I had about $8.20 into those pieces. So I made a profit of $31.93. Let's see, I wouldn't wear this if it were in my closet. Like I would not have bought this myself, right? I'm sure on the right person, it looks wonderful. It's just not my thing. So I remember listing it and being like, you crazy. You crazy for thinking you can list this as high as you are. But it still sold. Again, just because something is not your cup of tea does not mean that it's not going to sell. There is literally a buyer for everything. And in this case, this was only listed for like a couple weeks. So that buyer found me real quick and was willing to cough over close to $60 for this suit set. And I was happy to give it to them. So that was a really great sale and very welcome because I had no Poshmark sales. And then on Facebook Marketplace, I had a sale and it was this pair of Fit Flop black snakeskin slip-on wedges in a size 7. Fit Flop is a shoe brand that I love. I don't find it too often where I live, but I always have really good luck with it. This sold for $30. I had $3.40 into those, I believe from a local thrift store. And so my profit on those was $24.48. And they sold relatively quickly. Moving on to March 22nd, which was a Tuesday, on eBay, I sold this pair of Ultra Torin, I think that was the style name, Torin 2 running lace-up shoes in a size 12 for men. They were crazy, like just all these different colors, really bright, kind of neon. And Ultra shoes are known for having like a really wide like toe bed, especially for people with wide feet, just for like that extra space for added comfort. They're pretty crazy. I mean, I wouldn't say that I wouldn't wear them because I like really loud, obnoxious things. But yeah, I mean, I was like, who's gonna buy this? Someone bought it within, I want to say either 24 hours or 48 hours of me listing it. Again, this was something that had been sitting in my death pile for so long before I got around to listing it, and it sold for my full asking price of $39.99. I had $3.79 into those because I got them in a men's ThredUp rescue box, and I made a profit of $30.62. I've never seen these shoes in the wild, but I do think that for the most part they're a really good pickup if you can find them in good condition. The next thing to sell was over on Mercari, and I sold this BCBG Max Azria white and ivory poplin ruffle sleeveless top in a size extra small. This is something that my sister-in-law gave to me. It sold for $18, and so I made a profit of $15.38, and I would say that was probably listed for like a month or two. BCBG Max Azria is one of those brands that retails for a lot, and the resale value is just like it's okay. You know, I mean, $18 for this top, that seems about right. So if you see it in your thrift store and they're asking like $4 or $5 for a piece, I don't know, I'd probably leave it behind. And then over on eBay, I sold this majestic St. Louis Cardinals red t-shirt in a size medium. I think that was a youth, actually maybe that was an adult medium, but it sold for $17.99. It was promoted at 3%. I made a profit of $14.75, and I've had that forever, so it felt really good to get rid of it. And I think it's something that a friend of mine from church gave to me for free. The next thing to sell was this Land's End half zip geometric print fleece pullover in a size medium. This sold for $19.99, which was my full asking price. I had $1.02 into this because I purchased it as part of a lot from a local reseller who was just done reselling. She didn't want to resell anymore, so she sold me all of her stuff, and I got a really good price on everything. So only $1.02 into this, so I made a profit of $16.16. The next thing to sell was a direct sale. So Jessie reached out to me, and she actually reached out to me, I think 2 times in this 2-week span that we're going to be talking about in this video. But she saw a few things on Poshmark and was like, hey, if we bundle these and if I pay through PayPal, can you give me a better price? And I was like, of course. So she picked out some really great items. One was this vintage Gymboree pair of overalls in this like navy floral print. It was for kids 3 to 4 years old. I had $1.50 into those because I got them from my friend who moved away and sold me all of her stuff. The next thing that she picked up was this Anthropologie Mauve V-neck striped Henley swing sleeveless tunic in a size medium. That one I had $4.92 into. I believe I got it at a local consignment store, and I've had that one listed for quite some time. The next thing to sell was this Free People Beach beige and white striped 3/4 sleeve tunic. This one I had $5.94 into. I've also had this for way too long. These kind of really simple, like Free People, Free People Beach, these pieces you do not need to be paying close to $6 for. They just don't resell for a ton. If you can get them at the bins, maybe you can sell for like 15 or 18, but I don't know. So I've been sitting on that one for quite some time. And then the last thing that she got was this We The Free burnt orange oversized peplum round neck top in a size medium. That one I had about $5 into. It's I've had it in my possession for so long, I don't even remember how much I had into that. I do remember picking it up at a local consignment store, but for some reason I didn't write down how much I paid for it. Ugh, look at this like straggly piece of hair. Okay, let's figure this out. So I sold this bundle to her for $60 shipped. I had $17.36 into this bundle, so I made a profit of $33.52. So Jessie, thank you so much. I know she said not all the tops fit her perfectly, but she's gonna make it work. So thank you so much for your purchase. And like I said, you're gonna be hearing about her again in the future. Next, on Thursday, which was March 24th, I broke my Poshmark drought and had a couple sales. The first one being this Mountain Hardwear purple zip vest in a size extra small. I had this listed for, I want to say $40, and I got an offer on it for $34, which I was so excited about accepting because I've had this since last summer. I got it in Seattle when I was visiting my parents, and I went thrifting a few times. And it has not moved for months and months and months. So when I got that offer, I was ecstatic. I had $5.99 into it. That's how much I paid for it at the thrift store. So I made a profit of $21.21 on that. Mountain Hardwear is a really great outdoor brand. And I mean, vests in general, I think should do pretty well by this brand, but this piece, for whatever reason, it just took a while. It could be that it was a smaller size. I don't know, but I'm glad that it finally did. The next thing that sold was this pair of Cole Haan Vanessa, that was the style name, Nike Air platform sandals in a size 6.5. These sold for $30. I got them as part of this big bulk buy that I did at a local consignment store about 2 years ago at this point. And so I had $1.80 into these, and I made a profit of $22.80. I believe I sent these into ThredUp. They accepted them, but weren't able to sell them, so I got them sent back to me, and I just listed them myself because I don't really sell on ThredUp anymore. And so while it took forever, they did finally sell, and I'm very happy to get those out of my house. On eBay, I sold this J. Crew Factory sun-washed Oxford slim fit striped button-down shirt in a size medium. This one sold for $14.90. That was an offer that I sent out to watchers on eBay. I had $1.02 into it because I got it as part of that local reseller buyout when I bought out all of her inventory. So I made a profit of $11.77. I despise men's button-down shirts, but they do sell. I probably sell 1 or 2 a week. They're just like the bane of my existence when it comes to photographing and listing them, because almost always when I get them home, they are super wrinkled. I have to steam them. I have to, they're just a pain. The next day that we'll talk about is Friday, which is March 25th. On Poshmark, I sold this pair of new without tags, unbranded, white fitted faux leather go-go boots in a European size 39. I looked everywhere on these for a brand. They were nowhere to be found. I could not figure out like where this was from, what this stuff, I just couldn't figure anything out. But I went ahead and listed them for like $35. They had over 30 likes on Depop, but no one would bite the bullet and just stinking buy them from me. I'm basically like done with Depop. I don't get it. Like I know it's all about like the Y2K, or it's all about like just kind of throwback styles and streetwear and stuff, which I feel like I have some of that kind of stuff listed. I get a ton of likes. Nobody wants to buy anything. So I don't know. Let me know down in the comments below if you are a seasoned Depop seller. What is your secret? How are you making sales over there? Because Depop hates me and I it. So I don't know. But these finally sold on Poshmark, not Depop. I got a $25 offer on them. I just needed these gone. I just wanted them out of my house. I got them in a ThredUp shoe rescue box. So I had about $5 into them. So I made a profit when all was said and done of $15. Not bad on something with no brand, like no information on it. You know, those things, I just go ahead and list them anyway. The next thing to sell was this pair of Anthropologie Pilcrow and the Letterpress white jeans in a size 26. And I believe they had like a lace-up ankle or something like that. These sold for $21. I had $5.99 into them. I believe I got them at I don't know where I got these, but $5.99 into them. So I made a profit of $9.09, and those were listed forever, like probably at least a year. The next thing to sell was this pair of Joe's jeans, Maddie's skinny ankle jeans in a size 24. These sold for $25. I had $3.50 into these. I also don't know where I got these, but I do know that these actually sold pretty quickly. Joe's jeans are so expensive retail, but $25, $35, that's about what you can expect to get for them resale. So I made a profit of $16.50. And I don't pick up Joe's jeans. Like I don't buy Joe's jeans 99% of the time. This time I did though. I don't know, I guess it paid off. On Mercari, I sold this pair of Hannah Anderson blue denim leggings in a size 8. These were my daughter's. She actually is the one that photographed them, and I listed them for her, but they sold for $12 on Mercari, and so we made a profit of $10.15, and that is going to go straight to her. She's donating a portion of it to Ukrainian refugees, and then she's also pocketing some of that cash to buy Robux for her Roblox game. So that was really cute. I did realize when I made the listing that I accidentally put the picture of the back of the leggings as the front. Didn't matter. They still sold within a week of being listed, so there you go. On Saturday, which was March 26th, I had a couple Poshmark sales. The first one being this beautiful Anthropologie Maeve Veronica red printed dress in a size medium. I just thought this was gorgeous. It sold for $45. I had it listed for $50, but it sold for $45. I had $9 into it. I picked it up at a local consignment store a few months ago. I mean, this has been listed for close to half a year, I would say. And I made a profit of $27. Not too shabby. I don't find a lot of Anthropologie, so I still get really excited when I see it, especially when it's something like a dress or something like that. And I do think it paid off. I think the $9 was worth it for that sale. The next thing to sell was this Torrid limited edition black Barbie dress, and it had like a lips print all over it, and it was in a size 5X, which is great. Nice big size. That sold for $32, and I had $9.96 into it because it's something that I got at a pop-up consignment sale. I definitely did not pay $9.96, but that was my average cost of goods for that particular day that I went to the pop-up consignment sale. I think this dress I actually only ended up paying like $5 for. I also had discounted shipping on that because this was a Posher VA sale. On that day, Posher VA sent out an offer to likers about 4 minutes after they liked the item, and that's how I made the sale. So thank you, Posher VA. And I made a profit of $12.96 on that. It has been like almost half a year again, so it was listed for a little bit longer than I would have thought, given the fact that this was a really cool Torrid piece. And Torrid collaboration pieces can do really well, but this one, for whatever reason, I did sit on for quite some time. The next thing to sell was on eBay. It was this Ebbets Field and Huckberry collaboration hat. It was like a green wool baseball cap. This thing sold for $18 on eBay. That was the offer that I got. I think I had it listed for $25. And I had $3.79 into it because I got it in a men's thread-up rescue box. So I made a profit of $11.42. I did a lot of research on Huckberry because in that video where I did the thread-up men's rescue box unboxing, I tried to really do a deep dive into any brands that I didn't know off the top of my head. You can check out that video right here and I'll have it linked down in the description too. And what I learned is that Huckberry is an online store. They may have some brick and mortar stores too, I'm not sure, but it's an online store that sells a lot of different men's outdoor brands, brands like Patagonia. I think they sell like Arc'teryx, maybe, that kind of stuff. But then when I was doing research on this hat, I saw that it was selling for like that $18 to $22 range. And it kept coming up as Ebbets Field and Huckberry, like Ebbet Fields and Huckberry collaboration. So I put that in the title. I sold this within 24 hours on eBay, for $18. I got an offer on this hat even before this one came in through eBay. I think it was on like Mercari or something and it was for like $10. And I was like, no. I countered maybe at like 15 or 20, but then I got this $18 offer and I accepted. I actually got an offer on Depop on this hat. I got an offer on Facebook. Like I got offers on like 4 or 5 different places. And I think actually it also... Did it sell somewhere? Like, I think it actually sold somewhere else and I had to cancel it was crazy. All within 24 hours of listing. So I guess if you find this exact hat, or maybe it's the Ebbets Field and Huckberry, I'm not sure, but oh my gosh, like I've never had so many offers come in from so many different platforms in such a small period of time for something like this. Like, I don't know what it is about this hat, but maybe I had it priced too low. I don't know, but I mean, I feel like I had it priced according to comp. So be on the lookout for this, I guess. The next thing to sell was over on Mercari, and it was this new with tags body glove black spring suit wetsuit in a size youth 16. The irritating thing about this is that it came to me in a men's thread-up rescue box. Clearly, it's not men's, it's youth. But regardless, I sold it for $29 on Mercari. I had $3 into it because that was my average cost of goods for everything in that thread-up box. So I made a profit of $21.96. She purchased on a Friday, and she said, do you think I'll be able to get it by such and such date? And I think the date was like, not the following Monday, but the Monday after. And I was like, you should. But I was sending it out FedEx Smart Post, and with Mercari, you can't change your shipping label once the transaction is complete. Once they buy the item, however you said you were going to ship it out, you have to ship it out that way. So FedEx does take a little bit longer than regular USPS. So I was like, I think it'll get there by that Monday, but like what I can promise you is that I will get it out in the post as quickly as possible. But once it's out of my hands, it's out of my control. I can't do anything at that point to get it to you faster. And she was like, okay, we'll just take our chances. It arrived the day that they left, but like after they left for their trip. But thankfully, I guess they had like a family friend or something, and that family friend was leaving a little bit after them, so they were able to intercept the package and take it on the trip with them. And I remember like when it arrived, I saw that it had arrived. I reached out and I was like, did it get to you on time? And she responded and was like, no, like, we missed it by like a couple hours, but we were still able to get it on our trip, and this is how. And she was like, thank you so much for checking up on me. I also randomly was just like looking at some of my more recent eBay feedback, and there were some wonderful comments left in the feedback. One person in particular was like, I've just never experienced this kind of customer service and presentation with packaging, so thank you so much, because customer service, especially on eBay, has really gone down the drain. Someone on eBay reached out to me with a question. I responded, and they were like, thanks for responding. Like, most people just don't even answer my questions. So I don't know. Customer service, a little goes a long way. People almost don't even expect it anymore because people just don't give it. So if you can reach out to people, if you can be kind to people, I think it does lead to repeat buyers and at least satisfied customers. So I was really happy that she was thankful that I even checked up on her. But no, this did not make it in time the way that I hoped it would, but it all worked out in the end. That was a long story, but moving on to Sunday, which is March 27th, I had one Poshmark sale, and it was this Ralph Lauren tan full zip sweater in a size extra large. This is something that I have had for way too long, probably close to 2 years, because I got it in that bulk consignment deal that I did a long time ago. So my average cost of goods for clothing was 80 cents. So I had 80 cents into this. It sold for $20. I made a profit when all was said and done after you subtract Poshmark fees and my cost of goods, my profit was $15.20. Lauren Ralph Lauren is a pretty great bread and butter brand to pick up. I find it all the time, and it consistently sells for a pretty good amount of money. This was a very basic piece, and so I'm not surprised that this sold for $20, and I don't think that it had like wool or anything like that in it. I think it was just cotton, but a lot of Lauren Ralph Lauren pieces can do really, really well. On eBay, I sold this pair of Sperry Ivory Katama, that was the style name, canvas espadrille boat shoes, like they were flats, in a size 9.5 for women. These sold for $14. I had $3.92 into them because they are something that I picked up from a fellow reseller who just had too much stuff in her house and wanted to get rid of a lot of it. And so I bought like a pallet off of her of wholesale stuff. And that was my average cost of goods for everything that was sellable from those boxes was $3.92. So I made a profit of $7.81. Not amazing, but we'll take it. And I was just happy to move those because traditionally I've had such a hard time moving Sperry's in a timely manner. They just take forever. They're like squatters. They just set up residents in your home and just camp out because they are there for the long haul. So I don't really pick up the brand anymore, but since I got some, from this palette, I went ahead and listed them, sold them for, not that much, but sold them fairly quickly. On Mercari, I sold this Abercrombie Kids navy short sleeve polo shirt in a size youth extra large. That sold for $12. I made a profit of $10.15. And I'm saying that was pure profit because the way I remember it, they just showed up in my house one day, all these Abercrombie Kids polo shirts. I don't know where they came from. I don't know if someone gave them to me to I don't know, but I don't remember paying for those suckers, so that's pure profit. Let's talk about my numbers for this week. And by the way, at the end of the video, after we talk about my second week of sales, I'll tell you my March total as well. And spoiler alert, it is not super impressive. But on Poshmark, I sold 8 items for a net profit of $139.16. That is my take-home pay after cost of goods, after, Poshmark's fees, all that good stuff. Any like discounted shipping. On eBay, I also sold 8 items for $138.79, so literally just a few cents less than Poshmark. On Facebook Marketplace, I sold 1 item for a net profit of $24.48. I had 4 items sell directly to a viewer, and so I made a profit of $33.52 on those 4 items. On Mercari, I sold 4 items for a net profit of $57.64. So in total, I sold 25 items, which, again, to put things in perspective, in a typical week, I typically sell around that number of pieces just on Poshmark alone. So this gives you an idea of just how sad this week was for me. My gross sales amount was $607.85. Once you factor in any shipping discounts and platform fees, that total drops to $482.63. My cost of goods for those items was $89.04. And so my net profit was $393.59. So now let's talk about the final week of March, and this also bleeds into the first few days of April. All right, this was also a rough week, one because I did not sell a lot of stuff. Let's see, I sold 22, 26, 31, 30. I sold more items, but a lot of them, again, were like direct sales that I was just letting go of for super cheap. So again, just not a lot of things sold. And not only that, but I also had some cases opened on me, some returns. Blech. So starting with Monday, which was March 28th, on Poshmark, I sold this Revolve 525 America, or 525, I don't know how they say it. 525 America is like it's like a decent brand, and it is sometimes sold on the Revolve site, which is why I said Revolve, but it was this rainbow striped white shirt dress, and it sold for $21 on Poshmark. I had $5.14 into it. I got it at a Plato's Closet during like a 70% off sale, and that also sold because of Posh VA with discounted shipping, so I only made a profit of $9.94 on that. I also remember that when I got that home, and I went to like photograph it, it had the nastiest pit stains. And somehow my husband was able to work his magic and get them out in the wash. So thanks to him, I am now $9.94 richer. So thank you. The next thing to sell was this pair of Levi's 511 slim fit blue jeans in a size 30 by 34. They sold for $20. I had $3.50 into them. Oh, I got this at a new to me thrift store not too long ago, and so I made a profit of $12.50 on those. Levi's for men, almost regardless of style, will sell fairly quickly. Obviously there are certain styles that will sell for more, but most Levi's jeans will sell for at least $20. So if I can get them for cheap enough, I'll pick them up. The next thing to sell was this polo Ralph Lauren navy striped polo shirt in a size extra large. This one shocked me. It sold for $35, which was my full asking price. I got it in a men's ThredUp rescue box, so I had $3 into it, and my profit on that was $25. But $35 on this like semi-basic polo shirt? That's crazy. Yeah, I don't know what possessed me to even price it at $35, but I did. And then for it to sell at $35, it's a crazy world, y'all. The next thing to sell brought me back down to earth, though, because it was this Brooklyn Calling, which I believe is a brand sold at Urban Outfitters. But it was this blue short sleeve Henley shirt in a size small for men. That one sold for $9, but I got it for free from someone, I don't know who. So I made a profit of $6.05. So not quite like the sale before, but you know what? Still making money. The next thing to sell was another thing that my daughter photographed. It was this pair of H&M LOGG purple floral straight leg pants in a size 8. This girl refuses to wear jeans, even though she has some of the cutest and best jeans in her drawers on the planet. Like, she's got some great stuff. Will not wear them. So these, she was like, I'm just gonna photograph these. And I was like, okay. So they sold for $12. That's like the magic number for all her stuff is $12. That's also with discounted shipping. So we made a profit of $7.33 on that because that was a Posher VA sale. The next thing to sell was over on eBay. It was this Athleta green silk blend shelf bra tank dress in a size medium. This was definitely like an older piece, but it still sold on eBay for my full asking price of $21.99. I did purchase it as part of the lot from a local reseller who just sold me all of her stuff. So I had $1.02 into it, and I made a profit of $17.93 on that. I just made a sale. All right, moving on to Tuesday, which was March 29th. I had one sale, and it was on Poshmark, and it was this Iowa State Dominance NCAA moisture wicking short sleeve shirt in a men's size 3XL. That sold for $10, which I was very happy to get for something like that because it's like so specific. I had $1.02 into it because it came from the big reseller buyout that I did, so I made a profit of $6.03. On Wednesday, which was March 30th, on eBay, I sold this pair of White House Black Market slim leg white embroidered jeans in a size 00 regular. These I have had forever. I got them for free from a friend at church. She loves her some White House Black Market, let me tell you. I sent them into ThredUp. They accepted them, couldn't sell them, sent them back to me. So a year after that, I finally sold these for $19.90. That was the offer that I sent out to watchers. And so I made a profit of $16.20 on that after, just a couple years. That's all it took. So on March 31st, which was the last day of March, it was a Thursday, I had 3 things sell on Poshmark, but since then, 2 of those 3 items, I got cases opened on me, and those items have either been returned or are on their way back to me. So the first item where I had a case opened on me and, is going to be returned to me soon was this pair of Danskos. They were really cute. They seemed like they were in wonderful condition. She said that the second time she wore them, and I'm glad that she wore them so quickly after receiving them so that she was able to, open her case within the time frame allotted. But the second time she wore them, they just fell apart on her. And she, submitted pictures of the shoes because Poshmark makes you do that if you're trying to return something. And it was just basically a big crumbly mess of what used to be a shoe. And I was like, oh my gosh, Poshmark, please accept this return. That's what you have to be careful with when it comes to Dansko is dry rot. But honestly, it's really frustrating because with Dansko, you don't even know when it's gonna happen. It's almost like every shoe has a certain number of wears, and when you hit that number, whether it's 100 or the, 250th wear, it just falls apart. It just disintegrates, due to dry rot. So that's what happened to these, unfortunately. So those are on their way back to me. She paid $50 for those plus shipping. I don't want her to be out that money and stuck with a product that she cannot use. So I'm glad she was able to figure that out and open up a return, and that she's going to get her money back. And hopefully this doesn't leave a bad taste in her mouth when it comes to Poshmark, because unfortunately I think this was her first Poshmark purchase. So hopefully she tries Poshmark again. But yeah, I just wanted to make sure that it was a good experience for her. The next thing to sell was this Talbot's blue and white checkered gingham pencil skirt in a size 4 petite. This sold for $21 with discounted shipping because of Posher VA. By the way, if you want to try out Posher VA for yourself so that you don't have to share your Poshmark closet or send out offers to likers, I will have a coupon code down in the description below. The coupon code is just Becky Park, and it allows you to save 20% off of your first payment towards Posher VA. So I love it. It helps automate a lot of the tasks that makes Poshmark just really sucky, to be honest with you. So that's what happened here. And I made a profit of $13.08 because I had $2 into that skirt. That was something that I purchased at a local consignment store during a sidewalk sale. That being said, that skirt is something that I listed in this video right here, where I talk about how to list quickly and any tips and tricks that I have for productivity and just listing fast. So definitely check out that video if you need any tips on how to list as quickly as possible. And I'll have it linked down in the description too. So that one sold within 24 hours, and it was one of the 25 items that I listed for that video. I love me some Talbots. You didn't think we were going to be able to get through 2 weeks worth of sales without me selling at least one Talbots piece, did you? So the next thing that sold that was also a return was this pair of Calvin Klein light wash crop jeans in a size 8. These were another thing that had like over 25 likes on Depop, but they eventually sold on Poshmark for $21 with discounted shipping. I got these in a thread-up denim rescue box a long time ago and had just kind of recently got around to listing them, but she opened a case because there was like a small stain on the front that I just hadn't seen when I went to photograph them. So again, I don't want people stuck with things that are not in the condition that I described them to be in. I believe I described these as excellent used condition with no stains or anything like that. So those have already made their way back to me. I'm fine with it. This is the cost of doing business, especially when you're reselling used clothes. Like no matter how careful you are, you're just going to miss little flaws here and there every once in a while. And the sooner you come to accept that it's going to happen, it's a matter of when, not if, the more at peace you will be with yourself when you do inevitably make these kinds of mistakes. Over on Mercari, I sold this soft surroundings underwire tee in like a blue color in a size 34B. Basically just a blue short sleeve shirt with like a built-in shelf bra. This sold for $15. I had $3 into it because I picked it up at a local consignment store. So I made a profit of $9.76. Probably don't need to pick up such basic soft surroundings in the future, but I do love the brand so much, and that's why it's hard for me to leave it behind. The next thing to sell was this pair of Asics Gel Rocket volleyball like athletic shoes in a women's size 5.5. These sold for $20 after being listed for 2 years because I got them at a local consignment store when I was shopping in bulk. So my cost of goods for these shoes was $1.80. I made a profit of $15.32. Only took me 2 years, so there you go. Moving into April, on Friday the 1st, on Mercari, I sold this vintage Precious Moments figurine. It was like, the title of it was Jesus is the Only Way, and it was from 1988. This sold for $12 on Mercari. I had $2.50 into it. I got it at a garage sale, and I remember I went with my son, I want to say like at the very end of garage sale season last year, so maybe in like the fall, and I made a profit of $7.65. He actually picked this out, I think like for himself, but like never asked for it, like did not even remember that we had purchased it. So I was like, we do not need this in our house. It's so fragile and breakable. Like, I'm just going to sell it. So it's not really something that I meant to resell, and I probably would not have picked it up to resell had it not been for my son. The next thing to sell was this K2 Moto MIL Q7. I'm just saying a bunch of letters and numbers at this point, but they were these max wheel 84mm Exotech inline skates, or basically in layman's terms, rollerblades. They were in a men's 11.5. They sold for $40, and I made a profit of $34.54 because I got them for free from a friend at church. Those someone purchased as a birthday gift wanted them by a certain date. Again, I said I can't promise that they'll get to you on that date, but they ended up getting there right on that person's birthday. So in that case, it worked out really nicely. I did have a Kitizen sale this day. It was a bundle of 2 pairs of shoes. The first pair were a pair that my son wore. They were these Tom's gray slip-on canvas shoes in a size 7. Those were gifted to him from a family friend of ours who worked for Tom's for a brief spell. She no longer does, but she sent him those shoes, which was so sweet. And then the next pair of shoes to sell was this pair of Keen blue waterproof sandals in a size 7. Those we had $1.60 into. I don't know where they came from though. I don't know why they were so cheap. Maybe they were from the bins, I want to say. But the bundle sold for $51.20 with me paying for shipping. That's how it usually works on Kitizen. Most people do shipping included in the cost. I only had $1.60 into that bundle. So I made a profit of $37.55 on those 2 pairs of shoes. And really any money that I make on Kitizen, I don't even transfer to my bank account or to my PayPal. I just keep it in there and I just use that money to buy clothes for my kids. So it's a nice way to not really have to pay for my kids' clothes, which is really cool. On Saturday, which was April 2nd, I had a couple Poshmark sales. The first one being this Polo Ralph Lauren blue Pima soft touch polo in a size extra large. So again, with like the Polo Ralph Lauren polo shirts, this one only sold for $21 compared to the other one that sold for $35. I had $3.25 into this. I don't know where I got it. I think it was from a local consignment store though. So I made a profit of $16.80. The next thing to sell was a great sale. It was this Cabby red houndstooth long line collection ruffle jacket in a size extra large. Celebration ruffle jacket. That's like the name of the style, I guess, of this jacket. Cabby is really nice because on their tags, it says the style number for all of their pieces. And if you just type Cabby and then style number or whatever it says, you'll be able to see what it's called. You'll be able to see, most likely stock photos. You'll be able to find comps really easily. This piece had really great comps. So I actually had it listed at 100, but someone bought it for 80. I think that was the offer that I got, and I was super excited about that offer. I picked it up at a local consignment store for $6.50. So I made a profit on that Cabby piece of $54.82, and I think it was listed for like 2 to 3 weeks. On Mercari, I sold this pair of Keen waterproof hiking sandals, this time in a men's size 9. So Keens, they're a great bread and butter shoe brand. I do actually have a video all about bread and butter shoe brands that I will link right here, and I'll have it down in the description as well, where I just kind of spell out for you what kinds of shoes you shouldn't be passing on at your local thrift if you're able to find them for cheap enough, and Keen is definitely on that list. So these sold for $27. These were kind of grimy and had seen better days, which is why I had them listed so low and why I let them go for so low. I had $8.20 into these because I got them at a local pop-up consignment store not too long ago. And the biggest issue with them was that the size tag had rubbed off. So I basically figured out the size by putting them against other shoes until I found one where, they were the same length. So I made a profit of $15.02 on those. Not too shabby, and they were not listed for long at all. I want to say for like a week. I had them in my death pile for like half a year, and then I listed them and they sold so fast. And then on Sunday, which was April 3rd, I had a Poshmark bundle sell. The first item being this Calvin Klein snakeskin button-up shirt in a size extra large. This I had $2 into. I got it in a mixed bulk mixed thread-up box. It was like a 100-pound box. I wasn't even planning on listing it, but I just ended up listing it, and it sold really fast within a week or two of being listed. The next item was this Cooperstown Collection Chicago Cubs raglan long sleeve t-shirt in a size large. I thought that one was really cute. And I only had $1.02 into that because it was part of the local reseller buyout. So those 2 items sold for $32. My cost of goods was $3.02 for those 2 items, and I made a profit of $22.58 on those items. The next thing to sell was this pair of Onitsuka Tiger Japan Metro Nomad running sneakers. These I got from the big bulk buy that I did at a local consignment store as well. So I've had these for 2 years, which I don't understand because people say that this is a pretty good brand, pretty sought after. I had a t-shirt I got from this brand in a men's thread rescue box that sold within a week of being listed. I don't think I had them listed too high. I don't know, but they finally sold for my full asking price of $35. I do think I relisted them as well using an app called Seller Insight, which I will also have linked down below. It is what I use to relist on like pretty much a daily basis when I remember. I had $1.80 into them and I made a profit of $26.20. It only took 2 years. That's like the theme of this video. And then I had a couple eBay sales, one that's like kind of a hybrid eBay sale, and I'll explain that to you in a bit. But on eBay, I had an auction item end, and it was this Bimini Bay Outfitters chartreuse button-up vented fishing shirt in a size extra large. This actually sold via the global shipping program, so this sold overseas, and I don't remember off the top of my head to which country, but it did not sell in the United States. I had it out to auction for like $2.99 as the starting bid, but there was like a little baby bidding war between two people, and I got all the way up to $10.50. I had $1.02 into this from the local reseller buyout, so I made a profit of $10.76 actually, because I ended up charging a little bit more than what shipping actually cost. The next item to sell, this is the hybrid eBay sale, because this was another auction item that ended. It was this Lori and Mari, I've never heard of that brand, but Lori and Mari beige flowy crochet lace tunic in a size small. This one I think I also got as part of that bulk buy. Yeah, I did. As part of that bulk buy from the local consignment store. So I've had it for close to 2 years now. I believe this went to ThredUp, didn't sell, came back to me. I mean, it's a cute top. I just don't know the brand, or, you know, I think that has a lot to do with it. So this I put out to auction for $2.99. It got one bid, and then someone reached out to me. It was Jessie again, the same person who had bought the direct bundle from the week before. And she said, hey, let's make a deal again. Like, I'm also interested in these other things. What if I just pay you for those items via PayPal or Venmo or whatever, but you can ship them with this item that I am probably going to win in this auction from you on eBay? And I was like, oh my gosh, absolutely. So she also got with this 9 ties. There was a variety of brands. It was like Express. There was a Grant Thomas tie in there, Nautica. So a bunch of ties. And I have so many ties. So when she was like, yeah, my husband needs some ties, and I was like, I got ties. I'll just send you a bunch. And also some baby stuff, because in one of my videos, she saw like this little, it was like a little burp cloth with like a fox on it. And she's like, what is that? And she like took like a screenshot of it and was like, do you have this still in your possession? So I sent her some baby stuff like bibs and those Aiden and Anais like, you know, those really lightweight like muslin blankets. And I think that was it. I think that was all the direct stuff. So she paid me $25 for that stuff. Technically, on the Lori and Mari top, I lost $5.34, but that's because shipping was so expensive, and the $25 kind of helped pay for that. So, like I said, a hybrid eBay sale. But let's go over my numbers for the week, and then we'll go over my March numbers. So on Poshmark, I sold 11 items, which was a little better than the week before, but still not amazing. And that was for a net profit of $188.08. On eBay, I sold 4 items, which was really bad compared to the week before. My husband actually told me, because I get paid from eBay every other week, I believe. I think it's bi-weekly. Maybe it's weekly. I don't know. And he was like, you got a payout of $3. And I was like, okay, that's cool. I think it's a combination of like some returns that had happened, plus like maybe that's when I had to pay for my store. I don't know, but I made $3 from eBay. So if you were feeling bad about yourself, hopefully you don't anymore. But yeah, those 4 items sold for a net profit of $39.53. I had 11-ish items sell directly, again, like the 9 ties, a bunch of baby stuff, for a net profit of $20. I sold 5 things on Mercari for a net profit of $82.47. I had 2 items sell on Kitizen for a net profit of $37.55. So in total, I sold, let's see, 22, 26, 33 items for a net profit of $372.64. I'm trying to make like over $800 a week, so I'm missing my goal by a lot, like a lot. We still got time in the year, but I'm behind. I'm behind on my goals by a lot, but I'm not stressed about it. This is my side hustle. I have a full-time income coming in, and so, I couldn't predict that there'd be like a war going on in the world and that gas would be $5 a gallon. Like, some of these things you just can't help, and you just do the best with whatever obstacles are sent your way. So, in March, I made a total net profit of $2,039.66, which not awesome, but it's $2,000 that I didn't have before. So I'm happy about that. Those were my sales. This is a long video, but if you're still here, thank you so much for being with me, for spending your time with me. I want you to know I don't take that for granted. I know that you could be doing a lot of other things, but you're here with me talking about what sold for me, and I really appreciate that. So if you did enjoy the video, if you learned anything, I would super duper appreciate it if you wouldn't mind hitting that like button so that YouTube lets other people know that this is a video they should be watching. And if you are brand new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe as well so that YouTube alerts you every time I upload new content just like this. So thank you so much for watching. Y'all are awesome. I hope you have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!